Did you know that you can buy foreclosures without ever going to the auction and actually buy them before they're ever bid on at the auction? So, my name is Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the Go Getter Family Real Estate Investing Academy. And this is where I teach people to buy free foreclosures. That's what I'm going to be talking about on this live tonight, this beautiful Friday evening. So, I'm actually going to be looking in the workbook that I created called How to Break the Real Estate Money Code and talk to you guys today about how to stop a foreclosure auction and buy yourself time so that you can buy a free foreclosure. So I want you to go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new to my channel and you feel like I bring you some value, I want you to consider subscribing, or you can just be a player about it. Hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
I'm a go-getter. They some go-getters. We some go-getters. Hope you a go-getter. Let's get it. I'm a go-getter. They some go-getters. We some go-getters. Hope you a go-getter. Let's get it. I'm a go-getter. Hustle to the end, we some no-quitters. Knock it out the park, we for show hitters. Right, left hemisphere, that's a dome splitter. Yeah, we control our own destiny. Make moves, cultivate whole legacy. Creative finance, bring more ecstasy. The right ingredients, now that's a dope recipe.
My people, what's good? So it's been a minute since I've been on YouTube, and I apologize for that, but we've been out here buying houses, stopping auctions, and getting a big old bag. All right, so hit that like button, y'all, and drop some flames in the comments if you're happy to be here this beautiful Friday evening, because I'm about to drop some game on y'all. Britt, what's up? Okay, Frederick, right. All right, drop where y'all are from in the comments. Let me know where everybody's from that's tapping in with me. Lenny, what's good, my brother? Tiff and Tad just got another property under contract yesterday. So they're working on 2 foreclosures right now that are coming up June 4th, but they've already stopped the auction and they utilize some of the tools that I'm going to be teaching you guys tonight. So this is real life stuff. Okay, Denise, what's happening? Glenda, okay. Yes, Tyson, what's good? What's good? Dane Rutherford. Okay, we got 2 Rutherfords in the building. We got a Tyson, we got a Dane. Brothers from another mother, it looks like. All right, Killeen, Texas, New York. Dr. Joel in the building. Yes, he said in the house. Okay. Yes. Oh, Tyson sent you. Right on. That's what's up, man. Hey, listen, you can thank him later because I'm about to give you guys some game on how you buy free foreclosures. That's what we're talking about tonight. And okay. Well, damn, you can definitely thank him later. Like father, like son. I love to see it. This is amazing. I'll tell you this, Dane. This strategy changed my entire life. My whole life, man. Got a little bag now. We like those. We definitely like those. Okay. Oh, Dallas in the building. Oh, okay. Tanika Nicole, what's up? Hey, Tanika's out there making moves too now. Hey, we got some players in here. We got a lot of players in here. Is it Lajana Carter? Lajana Carter. Okay, Dallas, Texas. Love it. Kim, what's up? Okay, Kim's a go-getter too, man. I'm super hyped about this. I appreciate you guys tapping in. And Anthony Thomas, that's my dog. What's up? I appreciate you guys tapping in tonight to get this information. And foreclosures, I'm going to talk to you guys tonight about, I'm going to give you guys a little bit about how you can buy these foreclosures without using any money out of your own pocket, right? And then buying them with no credit checks by taking over the existing mortgage of the person who defaulted on that mortgage, leaving it in their name. But what we're going to focus on tonight is how you stop these auctions, right? Because one of the major motivating factors when we are targeting foreclosures is that the people's house is about to get auctioned. And so something's going to happen, right? They either have to stop that auction or the house is going to get auctioned. So they have to take some sort of action. So that puts us in a place of value for them when you know the rules that most people just don't know. And so if you want to win the game, well, you got to know the rules to the game. And this is super, I've bought so many foreclosures, y'all. It's bordering on ridiculous. I mean, and I stop auctions all the time, literally, like all the time. It's amazing. As a matter of fact, we just got a purchase and sale agreement signed today where we're making $40,000. Boom. A buyer's paying us $40,000 on an auction, on a foreclosure that we stopped, and then they're taking our position. So they're going to take over the payments. We just restructured that mortgage and put it in good standing again, and didn't even have to pay the delinquent payments. Here's how you do it. It's amazing. It is amazing. So guys, if you do have any questions, I want you to put them in the comments. All right. And then put where you're from with your question, and I'll answer questions on the second half of the live tonight. Okay. So you guys should have a ton of questions on this. I'm going to share my screen and show you guys something that the public has never seen this. The public has never seen this, y'all. So this is going to be a first. The only people that have seen this is people that came to my live 4-day workshop in Houston, Texas that I had in February. Okay, so this is straight out of the How to Break the Real Estate Money Code workbook. I mean, this thing is super hard, man. We spent so much time on this. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Yes, you can. Okay, let me change that. Oh, hide that thing. Get out the way. There we go. There we go. Can y'all see? Yes. How to break the real estate money code. And that's what we do around here. We break the real estate money code, if I could ever get it to work. Now, this is the live training manual from the live event. And I don't know why this thing is moving all slow on me. Lord have mercy. So I ain't gonna tease y'all. Look, how to do a deal in here. Look at all this stuff. Oh, this is amazing. We've got how to find foreclosures, how to run the numbers, how to do the math manually even, and then how to do research on public records about your target, right? How to skip trace them. I mean, every step, all right? Then we have a seller presentation for foreclosures specifically, so you don't even have to know the language, because the language is on the seller presentation. It's beautiful. Sorry, y'all. This thing's 100 and some pages. I mean, I laid it on y'all. I gave you the game. Okay. I'm going to make this bigger so y'all can see it too. Teaching you guys how to get title insurance. I mean, you name it. We go hard over here. But today we are talking about buying free foreclosures. Here we go. Now, I'm not going to read through all of this right here, but great read for those that have checked it out. What we're going to talk about really is the loss mitigation tactics. Okay, this section of the Go-Getter Families Buying Free Foreclosures is really amazing. Okay, so when we are buying free foreclosures, the primary thing that we need to do when we step into one of these deals is we need to stop that auction. We've got to stop the auction and buy ourselves more time. That's our value, ladies and gentlemen, because the other investors that they talk to, or realtors, if a person or people that are in foreclosure, if they talk to realtors, likely there isn't enough time. A lot of realtors have never dealt with a foreclosure like that. They may be short sale certified. There is a certification for real estate agents where they're certified in short sales, but for a short sale, guys, you still need hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, so we don't like to do that. So here's what we do. Now, I'm going to give you a little backstory on this. Okay, I'm going to give you a little backstory of how this came about. So the government, ladies and gentlemen, backs mortgages, right? So what happens, like with an FHA mortgage or a VA loan, right, or an agricultural loan, a USDA loan, those are all government backed, but VA loans and FHA loans are the most commonly known mortgages. Well, what that means is the banks have lowered their credit requirements, and they've lowered their down payment requirements as well in order for them to borrow you the money. But the reason that they'll lower those credit requirements is because Uncle Sam, the government, insures those mortgages. So if they are defaulted on, there's something called TARP, the Troubled Asset Relief Program. Okay. And so the government will pay those loans off. They're insured. This is why banks will loan to people with subpar credit, right? They will lower their credit requirements. And so what happened, ladies and gentlemen, was in the 1980s, the banks were just foreclosing left and right. I mean, interest rates were super high, right? And so then they kept going up. So what that meant was if banks can foreclose on a property, they'll get that house back, and some other poor schmuck will come and borrow money from them at a higher interest rate, and they can loan it out again. They make more profit. And so they're foreclosing at a high clip. So the government sent down a mandate saying, if you are going to service these FHA loans, or if you are going to originate these government-backed mortgages, we are going to mandate that you have loss mitigation options set up for people, because, hey, Mr. Banker, Mr. Mortgage Banker, you're making us look bad here because you're foreclosing on everybody. So we need you to chill a little bit. There's plenty of money out here for all of our greedy asses, pretty much. Like, that's what the government said to them. It's crazy. So they started loss mitigation options that they are required, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. They're required to take you through that application process. And here's the kicker. This is the secret. And you want to make sure to write this down. I'm giving you guys some game tonight. To hell with it. I love y'all. So I'm going to do that for you. All right. Just drop some flames in the comments. Now, when you call a bank, right, and you start a loss mitigation process, there's an application process. Well, during that application process, they can't auction the house. Boom. That's how you stop it. Now, since they are mandated by the federal government to do these loss mitigation options, or at least allow you to apply for them, when you see that it's an FHA loan, a VA loan, a USDA loan, or an agricultural loan, you know for a fact that you can stop that auction. Boom. I just gave y'all some sauce right there. Straight up. Tiff and Tad, they're doing 2 deals right now, and they literally just stopped the auction the other day. I mean, they stopped a couple of them the other day. Hell. So with that said, there's specific language that we use, but I'm going to share my screen again and give you guys a little game, because here are some of the options. And I've never done this on YouTube before. So nobody, again, has ever seen this workbook unless they came to a live event. I don't sell this to the public because there's a lot of high level stuff in here. And I feel like people need to be trained on this before getting the information and, like, you know, training themselves and going out using it, only because I don't want people hurt. Honestly, I don't want you to go out there and tell a family you're going to do this and do that and stop the auction, and you can't do it because you just don't have the proper training. So here is one of the options. It's called a forbearance. Okay. A forbearance, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read it to you. Explained simply, forbearance is an arrangement between a borrower and a lender that temporarily allows the borrower to pause or reduce their loan payments for a specific period. So it suspends the payments. So what that means, how we do it is we get control of that property first. And then a lot of times the houses are already empty, like the houses that Tiff and Tad are working on. Those houses are already empty. The house that we are selling, in the process of selling right now, we had to help the sellers find a place to live, another place to rent, which I was cool with that for a $500,000 house that I paid $6,500 for and took over the mortgage. So we get control of it before we call the bank and start utilizing these options and stopping the auction. Because if we don't have control of it first and we stop that auction, if the people are still in the house, they'll act like they don't know you. They will act like they don't know you. They might cuss you out even though you helped them, because they know that they now have more time. So a forbearance just suspends the payments. It's like a financial timeout where the lender agrees not to enforce the regular repayment schedule. During forbearance, the borrower can make reduced payments or no payments at all. We like to make no payments at all. But interest may continue to accrue. It's only a short-term solution during financial hardships. So hear me out, because there's options that are just regularly there, right? Like this forbearance, it's something that an option that's there all the time. Okay, that forbearance is always going to be there. But during COVID, they add extra options. So a forbearance typically lasts 6 months. So and all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, for a forbearance is call and ask. Ooh, I just dropped some sauce on y'all. You don't even got to do nothing. You just call and ask. Tell them you want to apply for a forbearance. Boom. Auction stopped, payments suspended for 6 months. So now that means that you can get control of that house and get ownership of that house without having to pay the delinquent payments, y'all. Think about it. If somebody is behind, a family is behind 20, 30, 40, $50,000, and that's too much for them to recover on, and they don't know about these options, and banks won't really openly tell you about these options and how they work. Most people aren't real estate professionals. And since we are, then we know the options and we know how to talk to them. It's absolutely unequivocally amazing. So let me get back to it. Now, forbearances can typically be extended after the initial time period has elapsed. You'll want to stay on top of the dates involved in the situation. At least 2 weeks before your forbearance expires, you want to contact the lender and request an extension. So they usually give you forbearance in 90-day increments. I had a forbearance for 18 months on one of my properties. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely. Now, here's the next thing. And when you ask for these options, you have to do it in a particular order if you want to maximize. So what I do first is I'll do the forbearance. And here's what it does for us, guys. I'll do the forbearance because, again, that just suspends the payments. So those payments are accumulating while you're not paying them, but you just don't have to pay them at the time. So that buys me 6 months at least to do the repairs to the place. Even if I want to do the repairs, fix it up, list it, sell it, make the profit. Boom. Or it gives me time to find my buyer, a tenant buyer. They give me a big, huge down payment for the house, and I can use that money that I get as a down payment from my buyer to pay the reinstatement of the mortgage. But most times, we don't have to pay the reinstatement because we're going to restructure that mortgage. I've paid 2 reinstatements, y'all, and I've done God knows how many foreclosures. I mean, a ton. I have so much experience in this. It's ridiculous. And the good thing about it is I like to record things because Texas is a one-party authorization state. So I authorized the recording of me recording their asses. So I got recorded calls with the lender, stopping the auction, with title companies, with sellers, I mean, you name it. I got it. So receipts all day. We love it. Okay. Next, after you do that forbearance, the next thing is a loan modification. If if you do a loan modification, y'all, what happens is it's going to restructure the mortgage and it's going to take the delinquent payments and wrap it back into the loan. So now you just have to start making the payments again. So think about it. I need you to think about it. When you are going to a person that's in foreclosure, they are so far behind with delinquent payments that they can't pay that lump sum. And the bank is telling them that they have to pay all of their delinquent payments. Otherwise, there's nothing they can do. And the bank's just straight up lying to them. So we come in and we are taking care of those delinquent payments, but taking care of them does not mean that we're paying that out of our pocket. I've only done that twice in my career with creative financing. The rest, I restructured the mortgage. Here's one of the ways: a loan modification. In simple terms, a loan modification is like a reset button for your mortgage. It's a process where you and your lender make changes to the original terms of your home loan to make it more affordable. Here's how it works. One, when you're restructuring that mortgage to make it more affordable, so you're going to get lower monthly payments most times. And the common goal of a loan modification is to reduce your monthly mortgage payments. And they can do that by lowering the interest rate or extending the loan term. They will make the loan terms 40 years now, or both. And you can get a temporary or a permanent loan modification. A financial review Okay, so you need to show the lender that your hardship is over, whatever it is, and that the client, the seller, is working again. That's it. I love it. Mm. The impact on the credit. So loan modifications, it might impact their credit in a negative way, but 90% chance that it will not impact it in a negative way. And we will start to impact their credit positively because we're now making those payments again for them once we restructure that mortgage. It is absolutely unequivocally amazing. So utilizing those two options, you can literally buy a free foreclosure. Okay. So that's how you stop. Those are two ways that you stop the auction. Because for those of you that are just popping in, and I want y'all to hit that like button, we need to get this information into the YouTube algorithm so that we can all get rich. I've literally, dude, my portfolio is well over $1 million, well over $1 million. What? Hey, we get a bag out here. Just saying. Now, if you guys have questions, I want you to put them in the comments, put where you're from. I'll answer a few questions, and then your boys got to get up out of here. I'm going to Austin this weekend. Go kick it. Go check out some more Texas. That's the only city of the big four that I have not been to yet. So let's see what we got. Where do we come up with the closing costs once we get the house under contract? Is it an earnest money? So I have never personally given an earnest money deposit when I get a house under contract. And for those that don't know what a earnest money deposit is, when you tell somebody that you're going to buy their house and they agree, you put up a deposit for them to take that house off of the market and not sell it to anybody else while you go through your due diligence and the closing period, right? So that way you got skin in the game because you put some money down. And if you back out of the deal, the earnest money, the seller gets to keep it. Now, here's the thing, Denise. I've never personally put down earnest money, and none of my students that I'm aware of have put down earnest money either, because our earnest money is us stopping that problem. Because we want to understand this, guys. We don't buy houses. We buy problems. These homes have went from being assets to burdens. So this is a burden that a lot of people just don't know how to get from up under. We come in and we're able to save them and get them from up under that. So we help them and they love us for it. And we end up with a beautiful home worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. It really doesn't get any better. So one, your earnest money deposit is your ability to solve that problem. Now, the second thing is closing costs. Now, if you're a member of the Go Getter family, our paperwork, no matter what we're doing, it helps us. So when we're buying a home and we get it under contract, in the contract, Denise, it says that the seller will pay all closing costs. Okay. Now, a lot of times the sellers don't have the money. Us as the buyers, we will pay that. But what I do, I use my buyer's money, my buyer, when they give me a down payment, I use that money to pay these expenses and to pay the seller if I promise them any money. But you can get private money loans. If you don't have the closing costs, you can get transactional funding, right? Where it's just that short period loan of 24 to 48 hours. But the primary thing is going out there and finding your buyer while you have this thing under contract and you've stopped the auction. Okay. Yes, you're right. Banks will not tell you unless you ask. And then when you ask them, it's like pulling damn teeth, pretty much. To do a forbearance, doesn't the owner have to stay in the house? Not necessarily. No, show don't. Shit, none of the, and I've done, a ton of forbearances. So it just really just depends on what the servicing company says. And so here's the thing. Banks play a lot of games. They steal from us a lot, y'all. That's just what it is. Facts are just facts. So they'll ask you if the owner currently lives there. If the owner currently lives there, you say yes, they do, right? But the way that we call them, we buy in trust and land trust. So I tell them that the house has been transferred into a trust and I manage the interests of the trust. So the seller Mr. Whoever, Mrs. Whoever will no longer be responsible for making those monthly payments, as the trust is now responsible for making those monthly payments. And the beautiful part about that is they can't call that loan due when it's been transferred into a trust. So that's another benefit of a trust, right? Now, here's the other thing. If they ask me that question, Lenny, and the seller isn't living in there, here's what I say. I don't lie. Hell, I tell them, I say, well, this is what we're trying to do by talking to you today. Make sure that they can keep this house. Boom. Shit, let's go. All's fair. I describe this as like being a voice for the voiceless. This is ethical capitalism. So the bank, remember, they're not losing anything because we're reinstating that mortgage and then going to start making those payments again. So they're getting their money, they're getting their interest, and all is better for it. Where you from, my brother? On a loan mod, the owner is stating that he will remain in the house. Really? I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that where that's in the loan modification that you have, because that would be new information to me. So, and we've done a bunch of loan modifications. As a matter of fact, with a loan modification, you're not signing any papers. You're signing a promissory note and then a security instrument, because they're giving you, what they do essentially, Lenny, is they give you a new loan for the delinquent payments that they're behind. And that promissory note does not say that they have to reside in that house. What that promissory note says is that if they pay off the underlying loan, or they get new financing for that loan, that they must pay off this loan modification too. So sometimes it'll be a second position loan that they'll put on there, and then they wrap it all together, and that's how they give you a new interest rate. So I've never seen that verbiage in the promissory note or the security instrument that they have us sign. And I've done a lot of these, but I would be interested to see that. If you could send that to me, that'd be amazing. Let's see. Tanika says, wait, so y'all not rehabbing first? Just sub to creative financing? So Tanika, I say this all the time. I personally, I don't do fix and flips, just because I know the types of headaches that come along with fix and flips, right? And so, one, we buy a lot of pretty houses. Now, have I bought houses that need a ton of work? Yes, I have. Did I do that work? No, I sure have not. So here's what we do. We just get creative, because Tanika, when you can acquire properties like this where it doesn't cost you that much for the acquisition, what I do to save myself the headache of, because I'm getting a free house, right? So it's like, well, hell, I know how to do this all over the country, so I can get free houses, for the rest of my life. So what I'll do is I will find contractors or other investors that are having difficulty finding deals, and I'll partner with them, and I'll give them 50% of the deal. What their position is in the joint venture, that's what we do. We do joint ventures, not partnerships. Those are different things. But their position in the joint venture is they are responsible for the repairs. So they have to pay for the materials and oversee and do the repairs. That's their 50%. Our 50%, Tanika, was the acquisition of the property. So they don't have to pay anything for acquisition. And then depending on how much the repairs are, when we sell it, right? If you sell it outright, that's part of the cost. So we'll give them their money back that they have in the deal for the repairs. And then we'll get whatever money back that we have, and everything on top of that is the profit that we'll split 50-50. And I'll take 50% of a deal where I just had to negotiate and shuffle some papers. Now, here's the other thing. I like to keep houses. I don't like to sell them like that. I like to cash flow them, because that's how you build wealth. So when we sell it, and we sell it on rent to own, we'll get a big down payment, especially if the repairs are all done and it's all fixed up. So we'll get a big down payment, and out of that down payment, we'll give our partner their money back for whatever the repair costs were. So now we're 50-50, everybody's whole, it's all good. Here's one more thing, Tanika, because I like you now, because you came to the Arlington Board of Realtors event, that the workshops that I had. So I'm gonna give you this gem. we have a work for equity program. So we'll find a buyer who doesn't have that great of a down payment, but they'll do some of those repairs for credit towards the down payment or credit towards their equity. So now we're getting cash flow and we're getting money off of this property without having to worry about the headaches of repairs. And our tenant buyer is doing the repairs for us. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I love this stuff. Beautiful. Cahal, what's up, player? Cahal's in my inner circle. Okay. Is it best to have a contract with the owner in order to start the forbearance? Long Island, New York, Eric Kaczynski. Yes, yes. And I mentioned that too. So you might have popped on late, but I will say that again because that's an important part. So, and I want y'all to hit that like button, all right, and drop some flames for your boy in that in the comments. Also, if you're not currently subscribed to my YouTube channel and you feel like I'm bringing you some value, consider hitting that subscribe button. So, Eric, here's what we do. There is certain paperwork that gives us control of that property. And so before my go-to line is when I'm talking to the sellers, I let them know, hey, all I need you to do is authorize some paperwork, and that way we can get started on solving this problem for you right away. And if they ask, well, what paperwork is that? Well, there's just certain paperwork that we need you to authorize so that we can speak to the bank on your behalf, and we're real estate professionals. So we kind of know rules that most people don't know. So we really metaphorically twist the bank's arm into doing the right thing. But the problem is we can't talk to them about your mortgage unless we have that paperwork authorized. So once you do, then we can give you debt relief. Boom. So yes, though, good question. Contract, information release, limited power of attorney, memorandum of contract. Those 4 documents. You always get those signed first, and you're locked in. You're good to go. You're going to get paid some way from that house, even if you don't buy it. It's beautiful. Great question, though, Eric. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Denise. Thank you. Is the bank assuming your buyer are the original mortgagee when undergoing the loan modification? Is the bank assuming you, buyer, are the no, because that would be lying to them. So no, absolutely not. So here's how it works, Eric. So when we get that paperwork signed that I just answered for you, the limited power of attorney makes us the seller's attorney in fact. So we are essentially them as it pertains to that mortgage and that property, because it's just a limited power of attorney. So we get to talk to them. We're not telling the bank that we're the seller. We're telling them, I'm Gene Boykin. Here's the limited power of attorney. So you have it on file. And so now they get to talk to me, right? And so we are getting the financials and stuff from the mortgagee, the seller, their financials, their pay stubs and everything. We just did this today on another house that we have. So we'll get the seller's financial information because it's their mortgage, and we're just taking that mortgage over, subject to. It's a beautiful thing, but we're talking to them as us. That's where we get the power from, because we're real estate professionals. What allows us to do that as well is not just the power of attorney, but when we put the property into a land trust. That's one of the keys right there. Great question, though. Okay, Najee Hickman says, just to confirm, find home, under contract, power of attorney, reach out to bank for forbearance. What happens if the bank asks who you are? Well, they're going to ask who you are with that power of attorney. You're telling them who you are with the power of attorney. And I've got this recorded too. When they ask me like who I am, I tell them my name. I'm Gene Boykin. And then if they're like, well, who are you? I say, oh, I'm Mr. Seller's power of attorney. And then I'm silent. Like, what? Did you need to know anything else? Because anything else, now you're diving into business that does not concern you. I am, I am, God dog it. I am their power of attorney. I don't know why it always does that thumbs up thing. It pisses me off. Um, so good question, but you got to stand your ground and you got to be confident in your competence and understand that that power of attorney makes you their attorney in fact. Banks, all banks, if you go on their website, you'll be able to find their power of attorney document so that you can do whatever with accounts of people if they make you their power of attorney. So powers of attorney are very, very strong documents. In addition to that, when we transfer it into a trust, and that's for estate planning purposes, we manage the interests of the trust. So now that allows us to talk to the bank about that mortgage. And that's part of our script. We tell them that it's been transferred into a trust for estate planning purposes. We oversee the interest of the trust. So the seller will no longer be responsible for making those payments, as the trust is now responsible for making the payments. We just manage the interests of the trust. So it puts us in a position of authority. Great question. What does TARP stand for? So TARP stands for the Troubled Asset Relief Program. TARP. That's a government program. It's kind of like corporate welfare. So banks, when a certain number of their government-backed loans go into default, the government pays those loans off to them. So the banks essentially are getting these mortgages paid off several times while we're still paying on them. Dirty dogs. I'm telling you, it's a dirty game out here. He said, you own it. Hey man, I'm just good at this shit. I don't know. This is my gift. But see, here's the thing, Magnetic Mentor House. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I knew that when I found this information, it was going to change my life forever. And it has. It has changed every second of my life. I fly everywhere first class. I mean, whatever, man. I get to live. I get options because I got a little bag now, but it was based off this information. So when I found it and I knew that it was going to change everything for me, instinctively, I was like, I got to get really, really good at this. Just get really, really, really good at it. And then I'll have all the options that I want to have. And so that's what happened. But I've put in so much work. I mean, literally thousands of hours of studying, of reading. I mean, you name it, right? And then going over tens of thousands of pages of documents, man, and found small bits and pieces of information that change the game in these scenarios. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you noticing that, actually. Okay, Tanika, like, yeah, this is fire. I love it. I love it. How do I use my revocable trust with a property in it to buy another real estate? Well, that, my friend, is a sophisticated process, and that's not what this live is about. So you have to catch me on a trust live. It's a sophisticated process, or you can transfer the house out of a trust, get a loan on the house, and then transfer it back into the trust after you get the loan. And that's all legitimate and above board to do that because it's estate planning. And the 1982 Garn St. Germain Depository Institutions Act states that lenders are prohibited from calling a loan due when a deed to a property is transferred into a trust for estate planning purposes. Boom. It's magic. Do we do a promissory note for the repairs? Yes, we do, Tisha. Yes, we do. We do a promissory note for those repairs. And so we're going to estimate how much the cost is going to be. It's our buyer's responsibility to buy the materials, and that's not part of the promissory note. And so we'll create that promissory note with the payback schedule being benchmarks that they have to reach with the repairs, where we'll take off certain amounts of that promissory note. And so now we've created money, because that's what money is, promissory note. And we can actually foreclose on them for that. Okay. So it's a little slightly sophisticated, but we'll if you hang around us long enough, we'll definitely get into it. I like to keep them too. Yes. Hey man, I'll take your word for it, but I would love to see it. That's all. I do. I check the loan. I check the loan mod paperwork because I've done so many of them. The bank has tried to play us a few times where we had to actually refuse the loan modification because they were changing the terms of the mortgage and making the payment go up a few $100s, and they raised the interest rate a ridiculous amount. So I've definitely read plenty of loan mod paperwork. Eee. All good. Tremendous value in your words. Thank you for the info. It's like gold. Yes, yes, man. I appreciate that, my brother. I appreciate that. How can I get a memorandum of contract? Well, I mean, we've got a few memorandums in the Go Getter family paperwork, and hell, that she a lawyer, an attorney. We have it in our documents, you know what I mean, and that's in our academy. There's some links in the description, and there's some free material for the Go Getter family if you want to learn more about getting our information and our buying free foreclosures process. So there's definitely some memorandums in there for real. That simple thank you. Yes, it means a whole lot, don't it? I have actually, Connie. I have done a sub two in Atlanta, Georgia. And I've done some other deals in Georgia. So Georgia, you use attorneys to close your deals, right? And there's actually a live YouTube interview with myself and one of my former students, Naomi Hughes, who's a realtor in Georgia. We did a subject to on a foreclosure, and we stopped that foreclosure the day of the auction. The day of the auction, it was getting auctioned that afternoon. We stopped it in the morning, and we stopped it by doing a self-filing bankruptcy. Boom, magic. So yes, we made some good money on that. The interview with Naomi is on my YouTube. I think it's from like last year or something like that. And so you can check that out. She made good money on that, and she now owns a bunch of houses. I've made her a millionaire. Yeah, she's worth well over $1 million now, but she's a go-getter. Seriously, she owns a bunch of houses. Is the 678 number still good to set up an appointment with you/your team? I just texted it. 678 number, Eric Kaczynski. I don't know, brother, if that's it, but I will say this, Eric. There's going to be a link in the description, and you can set up an appointment with Coach Jerry through the link. So on my link tree, and then on my website, which is just thegogetterfamily.com, it'll say there'll be a button that says schedule a strategy call with Coach Jerry. You just click that. You'll have to put some information in, and then once you submit that, Coach Jerry's calendar will come up, and you can pick a time that works for you, and then we'll send you emails to remind you and stuff like that. So yeah, that's in that link in the description. Okay, Lenny. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing about opinions. Everybody's got one, and they're all valid. We have to respect others' opinions. But had I taken people's opinions at face value, I would have never even started doing this real estate investing strategy that's changed my life, and that's allowed me to break the generational chains and generational curses that were passed to me. Because when I first heard even about the sub two strategy, I was told that you can't do that. I was even told that it was illegal. Now, when people tell me that it is illegal, and I just say, oh, well, I didn't know that. And I believe you. I just really would love to read that law that says that. So if again, I believe you, but I would just really love to read that, because my mentor, one of my mentors, he is the founding president of the National Real Estate Investors Association. And he has been doing subject twos for over 40 years, never had a loan called due. And he's actually the gentleman that discovered subject to and buying it in land trust. So if I was going to take anybody's word, Lenny, no disrespect, and you might find this disrespectful, but I'm going to take his over yours just because I don't know you, man. That's all. I just don't know you. Now, if you do have something that I could read that says that's, kind of backs up that opinion, send it. I'd love to read it. But from everything that I've read, well, we're going to continue to get rich. I do appreciate the opinion, though. I'm going to take 2 more questions. Then I got to get up out of here because I got to get ready for God. There's a lot of comments, y'all. I didn't see all these. I'm sorry. Golly, look at all these comments. I need to join the family at this point. LOL. Hey, come on through. Come on through. Now, Tanika, you out there making moves. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. If you are a mover and a shaker and you come to the Go Getter family, you're gonna get a bag. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Jonathan and Sergio, they joined the Go Getter family after my first free asset protection workshop at the Arlington Board of Realtors. It's already made them a lot of money. It's increased the scalability of their business by a lot. I mean, and it's just more information and 2mm shifts that'll do it, honestly. Where can I learn more? I want to learn how to find these properties headed for foreclosure, the steps we have to take to help them, and how to have these conversations, et cetera. Looking to jump in. That's a great question. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show y'all something here real quick because it is what is it? Memorial Day weekend or it's Labor Day weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. So I'm going to take you guys, I'm going to show y'all something and you can check it out if you'd like, but I'm going to do something special for Labor Day weekend for y'all on this too. So let me just pull this up quick and then I got to get up out of here because I got to get ready to go to Austin. Oh, I got to go get my dry cleaning too. God dog it. Let me hurry up. I got to go. The place closes in 10 minutes. I need it. I'm going to show y'all this real quick. Oh, wait. I already remember. This is the Go Getter Family Real Estate Academy, right? And this is the Harvard of real estate. Really is the Harvard of real estate. I'm about to show it to y'all because somebody got to do it. Here we go. So check this out. And then I got to get out of here, y'all, because I got to go pick up my dry cleaning. Sorry. Okay. So this is the Go Getter Family Real Estate Investing Academy. It's kind of like a Facebook almost, where people they post their wins, they post questions. Here's Coach Jerry posting some tips and mindset stuff. And boom, there's for the live for tonight. Coach Molly, who's our client success coach, posting some stuff, recordings from inner circle sessions. But let me just show y'all this real quick. Here is our academy where it says start here, 4 creative strategies, 4 P's of investing, and for Memorial Day, this is my Buying Free Foreclosures course where it has everything in it: foreclosure strategies and foreclosure laws by state, forbearance strategy, modification, reinstatement, repayment plan strategy, mastering foreclosure acquisitions, a deep dive into buying free foreclosures with a mentor. This is me on a coaching call with the Tiff and Tad Klump, the current Go Getter Family Go Getters of the year. And they're doing 2 deals. This was about their first deal. And we broke some stuff down. I broke some stuff down for them. They had the house they bought was $38,000 delinquent. They didn't have to pay that. We got it taken and put on the back end of that mortgage. And so they don't have to pay it for 27 years. It's amazing. Here's a live call with a lender, right? Of me talking to the lender as myself and stopping the auction. Here's some call scripts. Just a bunch of stuff in here. So I'm actually going to have a special sale on the Buying Free Foreclosures for Labor Day. So I'm gonna look out for y'all just because I love y'all. I really do. I really, really do. Anyway, guys, I got to get up out of here because I got to get my dry cleaning before I leave tonight. So, listen, I appreciate y'all. I want y'all to hit that like button. If you're new to my channel, you feel like I brought you some value, I want you to consider subscribing. And if you see this coming around again, go ahead and drop a question in the comments, drop some flames in the comments. But y'all already know what it is. I'm going to get on up out of here. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And y'all know what it is. Till next time, let's get to it, y'all.
I'm a